This is Johnny, the Economic Trucker. Thanks again for joining me. On this video, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the reason why we as a society don't move forward in our progressive agenda. And what I mean by progressive agenda are those things that FDR talked about when he talked about the Second Bill of Rights. Number one, that a man should be able to work 40 hours a week and be able to afford to take care of his family's health care needs. Number two, that a man should be able to work 40 hours a week and take care of his family's educational needs for higher education. And number three, that a man should be able to have gainful employment in the society that he works in. Now, there's a big reason why we haven't moved forward on those things. And this is what this video is about, why we haven't moved forward. As I mentioned in previous videos, most people in America right now have no clue and don't understand what money is, where it comes from, and the power they have with their money. Again, let me, from the outset, start off, just make it really clear, this is not about forming a union in the trucking industry. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I'm trying to do. I have no intention of doing anything like that, okay? So let's make that real clear. This is not about forming unions. What this is, though, is about forming or educating the trucking industry first on the truth about our currency and the power we have with our currency, and then using the trucking industry as a springboard in order to educate the American people on the truth about money. Now, as I mentioned in previous videos, there's a lot of videos and YouTube videos out there that are talking about how the bankers and we call the Federal Reserve is a private corporation and so on and so forth. It is true that most of the money in our economy right now is bank credit. Now, that is by design, but there is a bit of money in our economy right now that is currency, which has real, what's called net financial assets. That's real money that creates real wealth, okay? Why don't we have more of that money in our economy? And why is it that most people don't understand money, okay? And what is the effect if people were to understand money? And how would it change our society for the better, so that we would complete and obtain that promise of a better world, leaving our country for our children, right? A better world for our children, right? In this video, you're going to see Dr. Stephanie Kilton give a good reason why this isn't taking place, and why they, as professors at the University of Missouri at Kansas City, partly failed in this effort. But we're trying to turn this around, and I'm part of that. You also can be part of that. The whole idea then is to educate the American people on what it is, what money is, where it comes from, and the power we have in it, okay? So I hope you enjoy the video. It's not a very long video, but it's a very interesting and good video, and it really gives you a good reason why we're at where we're at. So again, on this channel, I'm going to post the introductory to the modern money theory, okay? And down here below in the bottom, you'll see my channel, subscribe channel. So please watch the videos that I post, and if you're first time here, watch my introductory video, and then at the end, before it's all over, watch the basics of modern money and truly study money. I mean, I'm not just talking about just look at the video and say, yeah, right. I mean, really, really study money. The professors at UMKC have got hundreds, a lot of videos on the basics of modern money. What you'll learn is things like, to say that we need to balance the budget is the same thing as saying don't get currency from the government that's real net financial asset. No, don't do that. Go to the banks instead and get that kind of money, pay interest on that, and there you have no net financial assets, no real wealth. You just borrow the money, you pay it back with interest. So you don't gain anything that way, right? You only gain through our currency. When the federal government spends, this is when we gain. The federal government's deficit, because it's an accounting identity, what happens to one end of the ledger affects the other. So when the federal government spends money, goes into deficit, right? The other side goes into surplus. So what that basically means is that the more the federal government spends, the more money is in our pockets, okay? So again, to balance the budget is to say, well, just go get that other money, the second tier money, the bank credit. We don't want to do that, right? A lot of people out there, there's even people out there that talk about making an amendment to balance a budget. Are you kidding me? What? These people don't understand what they're doing. And as I mentioned in another video, when we understand what neoliberalism is and what they're after, the end game is the destruction of national sovereign countries. You see, the trade, the NAFTA, and most recently the Trans-Pacific Partnership is all about how sovereign countries and their laws get in the way of their profits. So what they're truly after is to do away with what is called the United States of America, what is called Canada, what is called Mexico, what is called Australia. Do away with that and make one world government where there are no barriers keeping them from exploiting whatever it is that exists. You see, neoliberalism is about privatization. They feel that they have a right to make profit out of anything, living, dead, anything that exists. They feel like they have that right. Now look, I'm not, again, like I mentioned in other videos, I'm not against profit. I'm a capitalist, okay? In modern money theory, you'll see that is capitalism, okay? What I am against is that they use their power to destroy and obliterate the working class, the 99%. You see? If they had their way, they would work you to the bone and not give you any money, which you're practically doing now, right now, barely making ends meet, right? They've figured out how they could get with so much to survive, but not anymore, right? No prosperity there, right? Just an existence. And what we're talking about is we're not animals. We're not brutes. You know, we want to live. Now, it's true that money isn't everything, you know, but understanding what's happening and fighting for economic justice is living, okay? It's truly living. If you're not doing that, then you're not living. Spiritually speaking, you could say that, well, you know, a lot of the neoliberals will say, well, be happy with what you got, right? You know, be content, you know. What are you complaining about? You know, and on that point, in a big way, that's right. You know, they have a point. You know, be happy and be content with what you got. But I'm sorry, you know, call it human nature that when I kiss my babies at night and I tell them I love them and I want the best for them, and I'm not hard, strong in understanding their situation and their future, and I'm not fighting towards that future, actively fighting against the neoliberals that want nothing more than to enslave them, let them go to school and then charge them their whole life, you know, for educating themselves. That's not living. That's not. I'm sorry. I'm not content with that. You know, I'm not gonna allow. I can't sleep. I have to fight back. But we can't fight unless we understand. We have to have good understanding on what's going on here. And the beginning of that fight is to understand the power we have with our money. So please watch the video. Stephanie Kilton, the name of the video is Who Gets It? Who Gets It, right? And she's going to say something at the very end of the video, or towards the end of the video, that's going to really kind of blow you away, kind of make you think. This is the reason why we're not getting where we're getting at. And this is the goal, okay? What she's going to tell you is the goal, is what we're after. Thanks a lot for joining in. Remember, subscribe to my channel. Tell everybody you know. Give a comment if you'd like. And thanks again. Okay. Oh, and also, remember, I'm recruiting truckers across the nation to give a 10-minute class on modern money theory at the top of the hour on channel 15. And if you're interested in doing that, email me at truckersecon101@gmail.com. That's plural, truckersecon101@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again with another video.